All right, welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Beats and Things. I'm your host, K Hill, and my man behind the camera right now for the time being, till he come to the front, is my man Finsta of Finsta Bundy. And we definitely, like I always say every episode, we definitely gonna tell his story because he got a dope history. So, man, look, we're gonna get into it today. Today, hey, man, like always, we got an incredibly dope guest that I'm a huge fan of and whatnot, man. I just hope I can, like, really do him justice on bringing him in. All right, I always got to throw myself in it just to make the story, kind of resonate and be relatable and whatnot. All right, so when I was in college, man, this group named Camp Low came out with this joint called KOOLEYHIGH. Like, I was so crazy about that joint, man, because not only did it take the Janet record and, really flip it, shout out to Ski Beats on that joint, but it just set the vibe, man. Like, the whole KOOLEYHIGH, song and whatnot just set this vibe that just put you in just, like, this zone. Like, no matter what you have going on, like, whether you're going to the club, whether you're going to the cafe at school or wherever you're going, when that KOOLEYHIGH got you, why? When that joint come on, man, you just get into this trance or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because the music and the production of it was so dreamy. So, fast forward a couple of years later, when this conglomerate, in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina, came on the scene and they called themselves KOOLEYHIGH, I looked at them, I'm like, okay, these kids are young, so they might not be talking about, the movie KOOLEYHIGH, with my man Cochise and all that stuff, man. They probably building off of the Camp Low, joint and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, so if this music that they put out don't match the vibe of that jam, I don't know if I can give them a pass. Crazy thing is, when I did hear their music, it matched that vibe. It set that tone. If you're familiar with KOOLEYHIGH music, man, like, it's just good vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? Good feeling, like, not too hard, but definitely not too soft. And today, we're going to get into a couple of things and whatnot, but today we have the honor, man, of building with one of the founding members of KOOLEYHIGh, Hip Hop Beats and Things. I want us all to welcome MC Tab 1 to Hip Hop Beats and Things. Thank you, my brother, for coming to the show.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you making time to be here, man,
yeah,
for real.
Yeah, and, you're a part of our history as well, like coming up in North Carolina. So
word up.
Want to give you your flowers as one of the illest MCs.
Word up, man.
To come out of the state.
I'm going to get that back,
to
bro.
still be doing it. So.
We'll be throwing flowers to each other all day long, you know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
Listen, man, I told you before we began this interview that it's a lot of my guests, I don't even do the research.
Yeah.
I don't even do the research for clarity. Yeah. I go off of things that I know organically just to have an organic conversation.
Yeah.
Now, how long I'm going to be able to rock like that, I don't know. But I know with you, I told you, man, if I get anything wrong, I want you to educate me on that, okay?
All right. Yeah.
So, when I first heard of you and KOOLEYHIGH, it was now that's not my first time hearing. I'm gonna get into the first time I heard of you, but I know you guys from the NC State area and whatnot. You guys are students from NC State.
Yeah.
Now, when I first heard of y'all, you guys wasn't KOOLEYHIGH. I heard of an organization called H2O.
That was
So you was a part of that organization.
Yeah. So it was Charlie's idea. Charlie Smarts.
Okay.
And he worked with Rapsody at Foot Action.
Okay. I keep hearing about Foot Action, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so that's how I met Rapsody, was through Charlie. And I met Charlie at, like, a party, just freestyling.
Okay.
And then we ended up having an econ class together. And then he had this idea of starting, like, a campus group organization.
Right.
Like an official organization.
Yep.
So
was it just solely hip-hop based? Or?
Yeah, so H2O, hip-hop organization.
Right, okay.
And we would just throw parties, beat battles, MC battles, anything hip-hop related. Put on shows, events, all kind of stuff. So.
Yo, I heard of these joints. I think I went to, like, one of them.
Yeah.
And man, it was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? It was like nothing that it was like nothing I hadn't seen in years. I'm not gonna say I hadn't seen it before, but I hadn't seen it in years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did it out of the lack of what we wanted. I thought I would come to college and there would just be this, like, you know, you watch all the movies and shit. Like,
Right.
I thought there would be some vibrant hip hop scene that I could just jump into, but it wasn't there. So it's like, well, we got to fill the void somehow. So
Wow.
we'll just make our own shit.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy because when I went to school, I went to get away from hip hop.
Yeah.
So when I went to school, North Carolina A&T, hip hop was right there.
Yeah.
Like somewhere everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
matter of fact, I went to school with 2 members of Tanya Morgan. Ilyas, he's not a part of the group, but back then, Don Will, before they was,
I know Don.
before they was
That's the homie.
Tanya Morgan and whatnot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's who,
Wait, Don Will went to A&T?
Yes.
And Ilyas?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a group called the Jerks.
Okay.
They used to walk around campus with these Japanese hats on. I don't know the official name of the hats, but they used to walk around campus like that, man. And they were just so cool and so dope, man. And so it's like it's always, I tell kids who have doubts about going to school because they're into their music. I'm like, yo, go to school because that's where you're gonna meet your future editors. That's where you're gonna meet your future journalists. Everything, you know what I'm saying? They all gonna be right there. So, and you're gonna get your education at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't finish there, it still was a great experience and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So with H2O, had you guys got involved? Had y'all linked up with Ninth at this point? Or this was before Ninth? You guys was building yourself up and whatnot.
It was before Ninth. Okay. So during the whole H2O stuff, Foolery, one of the producers from KOOLEYHIGH.
I know Foolery.
Foolery was doing like a independent studies course at State, and it was kind of like choose your own adventure kind of thing. Like pick somebody to shadow,
right,
and then do a report on it. So he asked Ninth Wonder. I don't know how he even got in touch with him back then.
Well, I could say this right here from what I think. I know Ninth had like a real strong connection with the NC State, you know what I'm saying, area too, because I think either DJ MC or Unique. I don't know if you remember Unique or not. Shout out to my man Unique. They used to go to parties out there, you know what I'm saying, and MC parties out there and stuff like that. So probably, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, possibly. But one way or another, Foolery got in touch with Ninth. Ninth was like, sure. So I think Foolery would go shadow him and whatnot. And then one thing we did as H2O was it was a lot of MCs, a lot of beat makers. Digits was DJing, of course. And, we had some graffiti writers and all kinds of stuff, too. But
so y'all cover all aspects of the culture?
Yeah. Okay. We tried to.
Yep.
And we decided to put together, like, a compilation album and start working on this whole, kind of like a mixtape, but, like, original production and crafting songs together. And in that process is kind of where the members of Kooley, we were all in H2O, but we started kind of gravitating towards each other.
Right.
And when we finished that project, Foolery asked Ninth to come by his crib and listen to it with us.
Right.
So Ninth came through. I think he had a bag of Bojangles, and he just sat down and listened to our compilation. And every once in a while, he would kind of perk up, like, who's that? And we would point out who in the room it was.
Right.
But that's the day that he heard Rapsody. And, I mean, immediately took her out to the truck, was playing her like Lil Wayne and Jay-Z and like talking about, just teaching her already.
Right. And
starting to like craft it. And so that was the day that all happened. But that's when Ninth came into the picture. So it was around that time. Yeah.
It's funny because I watch you guys grow up in the game to the point where I can remember meeting, different members at different times in their career that wasn't Kooley related. Like, I think the first time I met Ill Digits, I was at a show, and I think at the time he had a roommate, this guy named that we call Crash or whatever. And Ill Digits just started DJing, and he had just worked on a CD.
Yeah.
And he seen me, and he was just so hyped
Yeah.
seeing me because he
I'm saying, like, we all knew who you
it was
were.
crazy, man. I was like, yo, man, like he was just so hyped, man, because he was telling me about his mixtape and how he put my joint called The Instigator on the tape, man, and you just never forget moments like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's cool.
I remember Charlie Smarts because I used to frequent the studio of this producer named Marshall Law.
Yeah.
And I think at the time Charlie started working on like some solo records or something like that. So
Yeah,
I
that was,
used to always hear about him. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that period. Yeah.
Foolery, me and Foolery been in beat battles together and whatnot. Synopsis, I used to see Synopsis in the beat battles.
Yeah.
Rapsody from Snow Hill. I'm from Wilson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know her, you know what I'm saying, from then, but just that's how, you know what I'm saying, I just made a 252 connection and whatnot.
I saw the 252.
If you know anybody from 252, like we real proud of, our little area code and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it was just dope to see you guys come together, meeting y'all from different, you know what I'm saying, points of life and whatnot. Yeah. First time I heard y'all music, and correct me if I'm wrong, with the title of this jam. It was this jam called, I think it was called Water, and it had Edgar Allan Flow on it.
Yep.
And I think the night that I heard it, we was in the studio with Blue Raspberry from the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. She was in there recording like 76 tracks of the same vocal. I hope you see this, Blue. I know you bugging out. 76 tracks and whatnot. And Ill Digits just came in, man. He was so, once again, he's so hype and whatnot, because I think that might have been the first joint that y'all ever recorded with him or whatever.
With Ninth?
Or period. I'm not even sure. Yeah.
Well, it was it wasn't the first song we recorded. It was definitely, I don't know. I want to say
I don't want to put you there. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? But,
no, I remember that, like, There You Go, which was another song produced by Ninth, was one. We were at Foolery's crib, and I think they were talking to Ninth on like AOL Messenger or some shit.
Yeah, that sounded about right too, bro.
Yeah,
that sounded about right.
And I was like joking. I was like, he won't send us a couple beats,
right?
And
test the waters.
They were like, Tab said you won't send me, and then bloom bloom,
right?
Send us 2 beats
through Messenger.
Yeah, I think so. Or he emailed them, man. And one of them was There You Go. I think the other one didn't end up. We probably tried our best, but it just didn't turn into anything. But Water was the first one. We were at Night's. We were at not Miss Yan, but the studio they had out in Durham for a while.
Yeah, the one over there in McDougal.
I think so.
When they I think, was this during the Hall of Justice years?
Possibly.
Long time ago. I'm sorry, bro. Like
years
ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It really was. It really was.
But yeah, we all wrote our verses in the studio on the spot. Flo was there. Lazarus was on that.
Lazarus was on Water.
Yeah.
Was Laz ever a member of KOOLEYHIGH, or he was just like a
No, he was in H2O though.
Okay, he was in H2O.
Yeah. And we collaborated with him. Like I remember being on one of his projects, and I think he probably worked with Charlie too. And then we did that Raleigh's Finest mixtape.
Raleigh's Finest.
And he was on that.
I was about to call it Summer Sessions.
Summer Sessions was
too, right?
what Water was on.
Okay.
So Summer Sessions was the first official KOOLEYHIGH release. Man, it was an EP. It had like, I think 7 or 8 tracks.
Yo, my memory is bonkers, bro. I can't believe I remember that.
Yeah, that is.
I really can't believe that, bro. Like, for real. It's like I'm kind of, throwing you for a loop. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely, don't want to do that. H2O KOOLEYHIGH. Some of the other cats that I remember rolling with y'all. Another one of the other cats that I remember rolling with y'all was is it Hollow? Hollow.
Yeah.
Was he a part of
Hollow? So even before KOOLEYHIGh was my other group, Inflowential.
You beat me to the punch, bro. Yeah. Because I was gonna ask you about that too. Okay.
Yeah. So and then Charlie ended up joining Inflow too.
Right.
But Hollow. I think Hollow moved down here from New York, and I think maybe he was working with A-Did, our beatboxer from Inflow.
Right.
And A-Did would just bring him to practices, and he was like, this dude raps, he's nice. And he was. And it was like totally different style from me, obviously.
Right.
And it, like some street shit. Like but it was ill.
It really was, bro.
Punchlines,
he's dope, man.
Crazy
really
bars,
dope.
and he's the coolest dude, man. I don't see him very much anymore. I haven't seen him in a while. But shout out to Hollow.
Oh yeah.
If you happen to see this, love you, dude. But yeah.
Hollow. Man. let's touch on Influential.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna ask you what it is in a minute, but I'm gonna tell you what it looked like from my point of view.
Okay.
All right, so Kooley was like, you know what I'm saying? Kooley was like the straight, authentic hip hop, samples, beats, turntables, all that stuff. To me, Influential looked like the band. Am I right with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you guys decide to start? And that's a dope name too, man. Like Influential. I thought that name was so dope. What made you guys decided to, branch off and start that
Inflow?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Inflow came first. So Inflow was
really?
like,
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, my favorite group of all time is the Roots. I've seen them. I've seen them live like almost 20 times, which is probably more than any other artist I've ever seen in concert. But I was obsessed with the Roots. Like senior year of high school, Things Fall Apart came out.
Oh yeah, man. Gosh.
First time I ever rapped in front of an audience was I did Dynamite with a live band backing me for my senior year talent show.
Senior year in high school.
Yeah.
Yo, you beat me again, bro. So what I was gonna ask? Oh, go ahead. Finish up.
So Inflow. I met A-Did, the beatboxer, at a party again, and he would beatbox. I would just freestyle. He a buddy he went to high school with, Bender, Michael Bender. Shout out to Bender. Played bass.
Okay.
Crazy bass player. Unique style. Would not just play like straight up bass lines, but would do like strumming and melodies and like. So when we started the band, it was literally the three of us: beatbox, bass player, and me. And then we eventually added Charlie and Kyle Phelps, a guitar player.
Right.
And he would play keyboard on some too. So I love the idea of like a live band, but still hip hop.
I seen you guys, man. Like, real dope, dope. Do you still communicate with members of Influential?
Yeah. I had dinner with Bender like a week ago, and I still talk to Kyle, and they did just got married, and then Charlie, obviously, we're still in touch. So,
yeah, man. Yeah. Word up. So you said something about senior year in high school. So my question to you was gonna be, were you rhyming prior to coming to NC State?
Yeah.
So how long you been doing it?
But not like seriously.
Okay, so you got serious when you came to State.
I'd say like maybe junior year of high school, which is 98.
Right.
99. I graduated in 2000.
Okay.
I would freestyle with friends at school, locker room,
right,
parking lots, whatever, parties.
So when you came to school, what was your major in school, if you don't mind me asking?
It ended up being Parks and Recreation, tourism management.
That's cool because
which I have never done anything with.
It's gonna lead into another one of my questions, you know what I'm saying, later on down the line. So that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I had no idea that you was from Burlington.
Yeah.
Until I talked to OC from NC. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? That's one of my, my homies in the game and whatnot. And you guys collaborated on a jam. And I was like, damn, like, what in the world made those two get together? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a dope collaboration, but I'm like,
yeah.
How did they, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did it happen?
Yeah.
And I love the jam too, man. I even spin it sometimes when I'm doing shows and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I really love the jam.
Thank you.
Did you produce that?
I did.
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah, I never knew that you was from Burlington until till he mentioned it and whatnot.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember OC. I think one of those Durham, maybe it was Article or one of those festivals out there. We were on the bill together. And
yeah, man.
I started hearing about him, and then just like genuinely listening to his music as a fan.
Oh yeah,
he's so ill.
No, hardworking MC.
And then
man.
Found out he was from Burlington.
I know that was like icing on the cake.
So I was like, oh shit, we got to do something.
That's crazy, man. I ain't even like for real, bro. Like they was they had to be the first hip hop cats that I ever knew from Burlington. So the year that you was from Burlington, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. Like they got a community that. Well, I don't know if it's a community, but they have people down there in the area.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this: being that you was from the area, right? Was it any local acts in the area that influenced you during the time that you was in high school and stuff like that?
There was no acts per se, but there was like guys I grew up with, like this kid Bucky Conley.
Okay,
was the first dude I remember that could rap. He was I said it on another podcast, but like we had like a middle school talent show thing,
Right.
And he got up and he went 1, 2, 3, cheerio, here we go.
Right, right.
To me, I was just like, oh shit, you know.
Right,
I don't know
right,
why.
right.
I thought it was like the illest thing I'd ever heard.
Nah, man,
but yeah, he could like actually rhyme. His flow was sick. He started a group. He went to Elon to play football, but he was in this group with 2 other dudes, and I remember hearing their demo, and it just blew my mind because it was before we can do all the shit we can do now.
Right.
Like, I didn't understand how you even record. Like, I couldn't fathom it.
So all the resources came.
So
once
to
you
hear somebody that I knew on
actually doing it
on a track,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, how did y'all do this? So
anyway,
anyway,
I know what
so
you
shout
got.
out to Bucky, another dude, Darul Diab,
Okay.
all football players.
Right.
Yeah, I played JV football.
Okay. I was about to ask, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, I was tiny. I didn't grow till like
But you was
senior year
fast,
of high
though.
school. I was scrappy.
Okay.
I was scrappy.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate, man. I ran track. They tried to get me to play football, but I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
bro. Nah.
I did track too, but
Yeah,
my
man.
senior year, I was like, I'm just doing long jump.
Right.
I'm not
right.
doing all this other shit, y'all.
Yo, I ran distance, yo, like an idiot, dog. Like, for real,
Oh,
man. But, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So how many solo projects do you have under your belt?
Let's see.
I know you got one with Sunshine J.
Tabloids.
Right.
Mad Flow Ridiculous with Sunshine J.
Tabloids.
Balancing Act. Glory in the Wait.
Yo, these titles, man.
I should know. I think that's it.
Okay.
And
yeah.
then way more with Kooley.
I just want to make sure
So-
I didn't miss anything. Now, you guys, man, one thing about you guys, man, and if I keep switching back and forth between, you know, Tab and Kooley, like, you got to forgive me.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed about you guys, man, and that I admire, man, the main thing is, and I hope you can relate with me and feel me on this when I say this, you guys survived the blog era, man.
Uh-huh.
I salute anybody who survived. You know what I mean when I say that, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
anybody who survived, like, the blog. You guys didn't survive, though. Y'all navigated through the blog era.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
think
I'm saying?
maybe there's a benefit in not being one of the bigger names in the. We were in it, but we weren't like your Charles Hamilton or
Right.
I don't know who else. Pac Div, Tanya Morgan, like, and
Gosh, man.
and those guys made it out too, but like,
Right.
I don't know what Charles Hamilton's up to. No disrespect.
It's like it'd be articles in and out about him and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be an article that
yeah.
pop
I mean,
up.
I hope he's doing well.
But y'all like really navigated the blog era.
I mean, I guess.
Like
don't-
MCs
I
like
can't
me?
say I know what we were doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, you just the thing is, you know, you guys were so different and so unique.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what the blog era was about. It was about I'm trying to find the best way to say this. It was about rappers that wasn't like really trying to be characters. It was it was about rappers living everyday lives. You know what I'm saying? Being everyday people that just made dope music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how you guys was able to navigate, because it's like, okay, you guys are a crew of different, you know, ethnicities and backgrounds and whatnot. Like, it's you know, it's almost people are fans of like groups, conglomerates, and movements and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you guys had a movement that just looked like family and whatnot.
Yeah.
And a group of guys that just like to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't make goofy music, but, you know, at the same time, you don't take yourself too seriously. Like, the skill set is there, but when you look at the imagery, like, it's an album where you guys are like holding on to balloons. That's y'all last release, ain't it?
Yeah. That's the last album.
Yeah, that's the last album.
Never Come Down.
Never Come Down. You guys are like flying on balloons and whatnot, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You
it
know,
sounds so silly when you say it.
the Daniel is it Daniel Thompson? What's the
David Thompson?
David Thompson.
Yeah.
David Thompson album, man. Like the whole, you know, the whole image and the setup of KOOLEYHIGH and whatnot, man. That's how you guys was And the way, the way you guys come off on tracks, you guys be sing-songy, but then you'll go back to like, giving it to them and whatnot. But you guys just like flow through everything. Like all the tracks are like good vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And that's what the blog era was about. Like a lot of it was trying to bring the 80s back, you know, but then the other half of it was like, we're going to make music being ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And for like a lot of older MCs, such as myself, like I come from the era where it's like, look, man, times is hard and, we done seen this, we done seen that. That's what we're going to rhyme about. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get to a good place. Yeah. But it's like, how can we do it when we done seen so much of this and so much of that right there? And, we from the Rakim and the Nas era where we just focus solely on skill set.
Yeah.
You guys focus on skill set and the style and, how to just make it look good, how to make it feel good.
There was a lot of focus on like after the skill part.
Right.
Like how to present it.
Right.
And I think it was back then we didn't overthink a lot of stuff too.
Right,
it's like the longer you're in it, then you start to overthink shit and like, it gets a little more complicated. But back then we were just having fun. And
now was it everybody as far as you guys look, you guys sound and all that stuff, was it everybody pitching in ideas on that? Or did you have a guy that said, did you have something like a stylist for lack of a better word?
No, not really. I mean, we would, if somebody's looking whack or something, we might, somebody would speak up. But, we kind of just let everybody be themselves.
Right.
And as far as like coming up for ideas with videos and, graphic design stuff, shout out to J Soul. He did a lot of the
Jason Clary.
Yeah, Jason Clary.
Yes, sir.
Did
what's up,
tons
Jason?
of. He did the summer sessions. Actually, I mean, he did the Never Come Down.
He did the logo, didn't he?
Cover too. He did the skull logo.
It's a crazy logo.
Every logo we've had, he's done.
Man.
So it was just working with dope artists that weren't in the group, but are definitely extensions of the group.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing, man. Another thing I was gonna say about you guys is, you guys always kept your finger on the pulse.
Try
you know
to.
What I'm saying? Of what's either what's happening or what's about to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the way you guys do your shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing you guys will do, y'all will have your shows, but you'll put somebody on the bill that you feel like is about to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is like about to pop, or you know what I'm saying, that's really doing their thing.
We always pay attention to the scene around us, and appreciate up and coming dope artists as well, and like remember when we wanted to have that chance or that spot, and reach out to people, put them on the bill. And
so let me ask you something. And that's very important. Like the fact that you guys do that is very important. Do you guys do that purposely, or are y'all such fans of the music and whatnot, and just of the culture of the scene, and just all together, period, that it's just something that you do naturally? Like, yeah, I still make music, but I'm also tuned in to what's going on because I just dig what's going on.
Yeah, that. I mean, it's a little bit of both because there's purpose.
Like really,
there's purpose to it. For like I said, like remembering when we were trying to come up, and it would just be dope if we could just get an open. Like give us 10 minutes.
Right.
15.
Yo, man,
30 if you got it.
You guys shows are so live, man.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so, oh my God, man. It's just, I can't explain it. It's like a party, man.
That's how we tried to make it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like,
it's
man.
Like you come to a Kooley show, it's like a family reunion.
It ain't gonna be no.
Yeah. There might be, might be a few in the back.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
By the end of it,
they're studying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but by the end of it, everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to make them when I can, because I'm like, look, I know what I'm in for. I know I'm gonna get my money's worth. I know they're gonna have somebody on the bill that either I haven't heard of and should be tuned into, or somebody that's already like doing their thing.
Yeah.
And it's really, really dope. And to see how you guys are able to navigate across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I mean like Charlie's not here anymore, right?
Charlie and Digits are in New York.
They're in New York,
Yeah.
right?
So Charlie's in Brooklyn, Digits is in Harlem.
So Digits is in Harlem, bro?
Yeah.
Wow, man. I had no idea, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. But it's like they went up there, you know, made more resources
Mm-hmm.
and brought them back to the group.
Yeah. Well, we are like me, Foolery, Charlie, and Digits all moved up there 2010.
So you went up there too? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But I was like a year and a half, and I was like, I'm out.
Word.
I'm good.
It ain't nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah,
you still got them up there and whatnot.
Yeah. But I mean, we made relationships with Fat Beats.
That's what I mean.
We did shows with like Homeboy Sandman, Tanya Morgan. We toured with Tanya Morgan for a little bit. We did a short run with Pac Div.
You guys went with Pac Div?
They're out in L.A., but yeah, they came on the East Coast and we did some dates with them. We went out to L.A. at one point, and I remember we did a show, some small venue with a crew, and Ab-Soul was part of that crew.
Right.
Like before TDE.
Before TDE.
Yeah. Rapsody was out there with us too back then. So that was a long time ago.
Right.
I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it's just
it don't matter, bro.
All the connections that we made, yeah,
it's good information.
We always try to bring them back, and
yeah, because I've never heard of DJ Prince until you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we met him in Raleigh. He was going to. Did he go to Shaw?
So he's from
he
went to school here.
He's from, I think he's from Long Island, New York.
Okay.
And sorry if I'm wrong, Prince. He's from New York. I know that. But he went to college down here, and he was in a what was his crew called? It was like No, I don't want to get the name wrong, but he was in a crew. It was like Film School Rejects or something like that.
I think I remember that.
Does that sound right?
It sounds
it's
like something.
It's
dude.
something like that.
Yeah, it sounded like
it was like 3 dudes.
Yeah,
but always fucked with him, like his beats and his rhymes and shit. So yeah, like that's when a lot of David Thompson was DJ Prince.
Right.
Because when we were living up there, he was always around, just chilling heavy, and just started building this album.
Yo, and it's crazy, man, because just seeing you guys move around like that, move and shake like that. Like I could wake up one day and you guys would be on I don't know, Rappers Out of Control or whatever. Have you been up there yet? See, that's what I'm saying. Like
a couple times.
You guys would be up there, like you guys would be here, there, and it's just like it just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? One of the most attractive things, to me about KOOLEYHIGH, not only the diversity, but the fact that y'all had a young black female artist that y'all pushed to the forefront, man. Not saying that, she was like the showrunner or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all lifted her up and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I think that was very dope. It kind of reminded me of the Fugees, but you guys, and I say this respectfully, you guys are like, y'all skill sets are like crazier than the Fugees, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think that was real dope, man, and it just made y'all conglomerate like look that much better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think, and we were fans of, like, Fugees was middle school for me when the score came out.
Right.
And then I was a huge Diggable Planets fan, which is 2 dudes and a female.
And it reminded,
and that's similar vibe too, I think.
It was similar vibe.
Parts of it.
Early Rapsody kind of reminds you of, what was her name in Diggable Planets?
Mecca.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of Mecca because she, I guess she was finding her groove.
Yeah,
and she was in the poetry world at that time and whatnot, and you know what I'm saying. It just kind of reminds you of Diggable. It had that KOOLEYHIGH vibe feel. Yeah, it gave you that tribe. We knew you guys was like a offspring, and I say that respectfully. I knew you guys was an offspring of the Justice League. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Yeah. We were all huge fans.
But you guys found y'all niche, in the game and, turned it into your own thing. if you don't mind me asking, and if this been answered before, like I never heard the answer, so I'm asking for myself.
Okay.
So, when Rapsody, when she went solo, joined Jamla and everything, like did it take you guys a long time to like regroup and you know what I'm saying? Was it an easy process, or did it kind of throw a?
It was, I don't know. I mean, I think honestly it was a little rough at first,
Right.
like just figuring out, because it was never. It's like no one wanted to hurt anyone's feelings.
Right.
So it was a lot of things being unsaid,
Mm-hmm.
but you could kind of read the writing on the wall.
Yeah, you could, even on the outside.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, there was some years I would say where it was a little tough. I'm sure everyone had their own feelings about it.
Right.
There was never any like ill will.
Right. And we can see that too.
Because I understood it.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone else understood it.
Right.
I think at that time, Rapsody was probably more mature in her, what do you call it? I can't think of the damn word. Just like her work ethic.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to
Okay.
say. I don't know.
No, that works. That works.
Search for that one. Anyway, her work ethic was just like, untouchable.
Right.
Like, there's a reason why Rapsody is Rapsody.
Mm-hmm.
And I have taken years to even get closer to that. Like,
right.
Be like more diligent about setting up when I'm going to go work on music.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I have to set a schedule just so I can be persistent and get shit done.
Right.
She never had that issue. So, and we were probably annoying as shit, if I'm being honest, you know? Just like young dudes,
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we got through it. We're all still cool.
And we can
incredibly proud of her.
Yeah. And we can see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I commend you guys, man. I commend you all for not being tacky about the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that
I know it was
could
probably
get out of hand if
right. That's what I'm saying.
If you have some ego and
right.
some petty feelings.
I
involved.
truly appreciate you guys on not being tacky about the situation. Y'all kept family business inside in the house until it was resolved, and still, you know what I'm saying. And nobody could see they seen the transition, but it didn't look bad. It looked smooth. It looked like okay.
Well, that's good.
She over here. Yeah, right. I'm telling you how I seen it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, she went this way or whatever. These guys are regrouping. They still doing their thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Kooley done found their groove back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Charlie got the solo records. Tab got the solo records. I see Synopsis doing his thing. Yeah. Foolery doing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody found their groove. Yeah. And you guys always seem to make it back together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was real. I think that's real dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I think everything happens for a reason. And I think it'll make, the shit we're working on now, if I'm being honest, is probably our best stuff we've ever made. So we're just trying to get better and better,
Yo, looking forward, bro. And I don't want to blow nobody's spot, but Brian Kidd, engineer Brian Kidd, he one of my close friends.
He was telling me about you.
Yeah, one of my close friends. Because
I was asking him how he got into all this, and you were the name that.
I try not to take credit. I said, look, man, you don't, because he always like, man, how can I repay you? How can I repay you? I'm like, look, bro, this is how you repay me. Go out there and win. Go out there and do what you're supposed to do.
He's doing it.
So me helping you wouldn't be in vain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of my friends.
Yeah. He's such a good dude, man.
Like, we talk whether the records come out or the records don't come out. Like, that's my friend. You know what I'm saying? My brother, my little bro. Yeah. And sometimes he'll, while he mixing records, sometimes he'll be like, yo, man, you gotta hear this shit, bro. You gotta hear this shit that I'm working on. Yeah. And he let me hear a couple of your joints. Okay. So he knew I wouldn't do nothing crazy or whatever, I'm a fan too. So yeah. I'm like, yo, so I heard some of the records, before they came out. He don't do it all the time. He just, bro, you got some dope joints, you know what I'm saying? Like,
appreciate it.
I've heard some incredible records and whatnot, man, and it's just inspiring, man, because I seen how long you guys been doing it. Yeah. And
it has been a while now.
One thing I was talking to you about when you came in was about the album cover for your project called Balancing Act. You know what I'm saying? And if you guys, if y'all haven't checked out Balancing Act yet, he got, I got this vinyl. You know what I'm saying? What you said? This is a 10 inch.
Yeah, it's a 10-inch.
Got this 10-inch vinyl. But to anybody listening, go. How about this? Go look up Tab 1 Balancing Act and look up the album cover. Anyway, when I seen this album cover, man, it just like blew me away. Because and to anybody listening who haven't seen it yet, it's Tab working on his music. He got the Mac, he got the focus right, he got the mic up, but then he got one of his sons on his back, and then he got another one of his toddlers like in the corner. He's trying to do his music, and he's trying to be dad at the same time. And that's so dope to me, man, because I love my children, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put my children before a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I try to do this music. Yeah. And I try to do family, too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling you earlier, like, I wish I could have gave 100% to both. Because even though I did both the way I wanted to do it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I could have gave both just a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just don't know. Even though everybody says I'm good, I'm okay. You're gonna always be your own worst critic and whatnot. Yeah, but you're doing it, man.
I'm trying.
You're doing it. I know, but it's like
I feel that same way, though.
Right?
So it's like,
we was talking earlier about how you don't see this, or a lot of rappers try to hide that side or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they necessarily try to hide it, but I just
I didn't mean to misquote you like that. But
you're fine. I just it's like, and like I know a lot of rappers are dads,
right?
Obviously,
right.
And you hear some rappers talk about it, some not so much, but I don't know. It's like just being genuine. I feel like people, hip hop's kind of like for the first time, like not in the top of the charts,
right?
And I think. My theory is because it's just not connecting with people anymore.
Yo, bro, that'll be a whole nother conversation. It's so out of control, bro. Like, for real, it's to the point where it's like, okay, we know you're doing too much on purpose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way in the world that your thought process like is really like
the image has replaced the music.
Right.
So it's like, it's only time before it comes crashing down. But that's not to say, like, people like yourself and all the artists we know, OC of the world, like, there's good music out there.
It is out there.
It's just
what
not,
I'm saying? Push to the forefront.
It's not up at the top.
But it's important. I just feel like this album cover is important on so many levels because it shows you, hey, man, first of all, it shows you that you could do this and still, handle your business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of artists who have neglected responsibility, thinking that they can't be responsible and still, work on their craft. And you're showing that it can. Yeah. And the thing about you, man, I've even seen you take it and like you'll take fatherhood and flip it so it can be relatable to the music world. I remember you and this ain't me stalking, bro. This just me seeing, you know what I'm saying, what comes across the timeline.
Well, that means it's getting out there. That's
I remember you and your son, I guess he was working on the yard. I guess y'all were doing yard work together. And you'll call yourself the Mulch Boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a little series I had.
Yeah, I thought it was so dope though, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because when it came out, like Tab, I grew up in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a lot of, like, I ain't have a yard to myself. Yeah. I ain't have my own yard for a long time, right? And it's funny, I feel crazy even saying that, but it's true. So when I seen you put up that picture of you and your son doing yard work and you call yourself the Mulch Boys, I had just learned how to do mulch myself. Yeah. So it hit me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, like, I'm not the only rapper out here doing mulch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, there's so many rappers out here still doing everyday shit.
Right.
So it's like, why pretend like you're not?
Well, no, I say that to say this right here, man. Keep putting out the content that you put out because, somebody somebody that you least, the person that you least expect to get it, and for it to hit, it's gonna hit that person.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, man, like I can't even get my boys out here to do this with me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, that's why I hadn't posted one in a while, because he won't do he won't do it with me.
Yeah, no, you gotta get him, get him while you can,
he'd rather
bro.
shoot basketball or something.
Yeah, get him while you can. But it's dope though. You know what I'm saying? Because not only were you showing him different skill sets, but you were showing the hip hop world that, hey, man, like I do other stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just important.
Well, thank you.
You know, it's important, and it really resonated with me. Who did the artwork for this? Is this Ruben? This is Ruben Rodriguez.
The outside, all the design work was Ruben. My wife took the photo.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, Ruben did all the design work and stuff on that. So
yeah, man.
Shout out to him,
and
shout out to my wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It goes back to that saying, you can't just rap.
Yeah.
You got to do, you got to do other stuff.
Uh-huh.
Now, I got a question for you, man. And if I'm going too deep, man, like we'll edit, you could cut, whatever you want to do. And don't get scared, but have you ever, did I hear something about you being on HGTV?
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that?
I think. I don't know.
Be careful.
I signed a big.
Oh, you signed a non-disclosure?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's not like that. You can't talk about it.
Tell us what show you was on at least.
I was on Love It or List It.
Yo, me and my wife love that show too.
Yeah. I watched it one time,
bruh.
Our episode, and then I was like, I don't want to watch that again. It's weird watching yourself on.
Yo, dog, we love that show, and like, I still haven't seen the episode where you up there though. I think Brian told me
that's the house that they did the renovation on.
Could I still find the episode if I needed to find it?
Apparently they play it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because
man.
All the years I've been rapping, working my ass off on music, I would just get random texts from people like, "Yo, I just saw you on HGTV."
I still haven't seen it yet, dude. Because we got caught up in this show called it was another show they had called $1 Million Listing or something like that, where they'll buy like these huge like. We got caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? We'll go back to Love It or List It sometime. My parents-in-law, they renovate houses and, buy property and stuff like that. So we always get together and, watch that and whatnot. And dang, I got to find an episode with you up there, dog. God, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you search Taylor and Whitney,
how did that, like...
Love It or List It, it'll come. How did that come about?
Yeah.
My wife was like, what do you think about applying for Love It or List It? Because they're in the area, you know?
Right.
I was like, sure, I guess. Like, thinking there's no way in hell it's going to happen. Next thing I know, they email us back. They send this girl over to, it actually ties to KOOLEYHIGH a little bit.
Wow.
They send this girl, she went to Chapel Hill, but she works for the show, to do, like, test footage of you in your house.
Right.
Take a look at the house, see how we do on camera. Mm-hmm. She knew this dude, Frank's son, who shot the Something Out of Nothing music video for us when we lived in New York, because he went to Chapel Hill too. Mm-hmm. So we made that connection, and then next thing they know, they're asking, like, what can your budget be? And
so this is what we're gonna do then, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Or maybe what? Because you said you don't ever watch the episode. When we, in the description, when we reference this, I got to put a link, bro. I'm going to find a link, and I got to link it because I got to see it
There used to be like a rip version on YouTube, but I think they took it down.
Hopefully I can find it out there somewhere, man. Like, for real, with all this cloud and all that stuff going on, man, hopefully I'll be able to find that episode. But is that something that you guys do on the regular? Like, do y'all...
What? Like flip houses?
Yeah, do y'all do that?
Not really. My in-laws have bought, like, my father-in-law is a retired remodeler.
Yeah, right. So I'm laughing because mine is...
He makes me feel like less of a man than anyone else.
So does mine,
yeah, because I don't know how to do shit. But I've learned a lot from him.
Right.
Yeah, and I've worked on, like, when I was in between jobs back in the day, he would hire me
down, for
like some day jobs, and so shout out to Rob.
Yo, man, and I'm laughing because same thing. Like, bro, I ain't know how to do jack.
Yeah. So they've got some properties in Raleigh that that we're actually trying to do something with now. We'll see what happens.
Right.
So, yeah.
Can't just rap.
Nah, man. Especially if you want to get ahead nowadays.
For real,
dude.
man. For real.
Yeah.
But you know, the crazy thing is, is you have that going, but you're still successful at doing this right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's dope.
And
man.
work 9 to 5.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a 9 to 5.
Uh-huh.
We ain't got to get into it, but I'm saying you have a 9 to 5.
Yes.
But you're doing this. Now, your peers that's looking at you, it look like KOOLEYHIGH is like doing it. And y'all are doing it. Depends on what your definition of doing it is.
We haven't stopped. So.
Haven't stopped.
Yeah.
So the whole while you've been doing this, you've been doing the 9 to 5 as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell our audience, and this is mainly for the young up-and-coming artists, why it's important to still maintain?
Well,
because some, artists that don't
you need
understand,
to pay your bills.
You need to pay your bills. Hey, yo, me and my homeboy Precise, we always make this joke. We got this running joke and whatnot. That goes, you gotta pay your rent, Sice. Like anytime we drive a point, you know what I'm saying.
Precise politics.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Or he'll always go, he'll go, you gotta pay your rent, K. Anytime we trying to drive a point or whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever you do, no matter what you do, you got to be able to maintain and sustain and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, it's like it supports this stuff. Like,
right.
Okay, now I can afford to buy a Focusrite interface and a mic, and like I had the first studio setup I've had. I mean, I never had my own setup. Like early days of Kooley.
Right.
Not until I was like married and got a house because of my job and being able to afford to do all that stuff. That now I can have this stuff and a space to do it, and
it gave you the convenience to, if you can't make the session, you can still do your verse.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'll just record it at the house and send it to you. Yeah. And I've been way more productive.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, this is what I started doing. It was like Wednesday nights, I'm going to go work on music.
Mm-hmm.
One night a week.
Right.
Now, throughout the week, I'd listen to music all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I might listen to beats. If I get an idea, I'll jot something down on my phone.
Right.
But Wednesday nights is when I sit down, make beats, record, write, and just getting something done every week adds up.
Question. This is a dad question right now. I just want to see if it's just me or whatever. Okay. Your kids, I know this is an old album cover, but your kids are still fairly young.
Yeah, my son is 7.
Right.
He'll be 8 in January, and my daughter turns 5 next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that said, so they still very young. So with that said, do you feel, and this is a question for you too, Finsta, man. Do y'all feel that y'all could be more productive with noise and chaos in the house than when it's quiet?
I don't.
You don't feel like you could be productive?
No, it drives me nuts.
It drives you nuts, okay. You get stuff done, though. No? Both of y'all get stuff done.
I mean, I get stuff done around the house, but not like this type of stuff.
Man, listen.
This is when the kids go to bed.
My most productive years are when my kids was this age right here.
Do you think it's because you're moving?
I just feel like that's the only way I can work. Like, it's just got to be a whole bunch going on.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
So you thrive in
I don't
chaos.
know why. You know what I'm saying? And so now, that they grown up and they grown, golly. It's like, but they still in the house. Let's not get it confused. You know what I'm saying? They still, working on stuff. But I don't know, man. It's just like without all the having to move and shake and think about this and that and whatnot, like it doesn't push me as much as it used to when they was, babies and whatnot. So I was just saying, y'all point of view on does it make a difference in how y'all operate?
No, I like to have my I mean, honestly, when I'm in the studio, I prefer to be alone.
Right.
So, because I feel like I can trash it without, I don't know. Like, I'm more comfortable on stage with a crowd of 200 people than I am
I've seen it.
In a studio with like 5 people.
Really?
Because I feel like everyone's judging me.
Right,
I mean, it's all in my head.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know what it is. I get so anxious.
Question I should have asked you earlier in the interview. Okay, you being from Burlington, how did the parents feel, you know what I'm saying, about you getting into keep it a buck?
Rap? I think they just didn't know what to think of it at first.
So
but
was they familiar with the genre?
Not really.
Okay.
But,
So
I grew up, we had, like, Nina Simone records in the house, soul music, a lot of soul music.
You were soulful MC, bro. Like, you were very, very soulful MC.
Yeah, so, they are heavy in my musical influence. Like, we always listened to good music growing up. And then, but as far as rap, like, I remember trying to play my dad, like, Wu-Tang and shit in his car, and just kind of look at me like, what is this shit?
Right.
You don't understand.
Okay, so with that said, so you played your parents' Wu-Tang. I feel like that was a pretty rough introduction to
well, that wasn't the intro. Like,
it wasn't an intro? Okay.
Like Midnight Marauders was, that shit changed my life.
Right.
Like, that's when I was like, I don't know how, but I want to be involved in
I'm talking about introducing them to it now.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know. I feel like when I got into rapping, I would play them like The Roots or Black Star.
Right.
Things that were obviously more conscience, whatever. And get them to try to listen. I realized that, like, older folks, like, they're so not used to hip hop that, like, they can't keep up with the lyrics.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas you and I, we listen to it, we hear everything. Because it's just like people talking. We understand it. But, like, I would have to, like, lay it out for them. But, yeah, the long story short is they've been incredibly supportive.
That's what I was going to ask.
And if you saw them out in the streets, you might think that, people might pass judgment, like, just some old white folks. You know how it is.
Right.
So, but no, they're very cool and very open to it.
Word up,
man.
Yeah. It's funny, man. It's funny you say that, man, because I ask a lot of my guests this, man. My mother, she actually introduced me to hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I didn't introduce her.
Okay.
She brought it my way.
And what did she intro you with?
Man, my mom know the whole Rappers Delight.
Yeah.
She know the whole Curtis Blow Christmas joint. Nah, the Curtis Blow Christmas joint. My mother knows the entire songs.
Yeah.
And it was always Cool Mo D records laying around the house, Beastie Boys. Like, this was back in the days when you could order, like, 20 albums from Columbia House for like a penny. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And she'll order her Whitney Houston, Anita Baker, and stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
But she always, she had her other stuff. She introduced me to it, and I guess I couldn't let it go or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted to know, you know what I'm saying, what certain individual parents thought. Yeah. Because you took hip hop and you, like, really, like, Tab, you got a style of your own, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's
Thank you, man.
It's really soulful. It's extremely dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's different. It's just different.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you're having a crazy day, bro. If you're having a crazy day and you just want to hear some grown man good vibe music, you know what I'm saying? You could pop in Tab One.
Yeah.
You
should do that. You should do that.
Word up. I know we like an hour in, but it's some other stuff I want to touch on, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Go for
All right, so and this is one of my favorite parts right here. So you recently started. Well, I don't even know if I want to say recently because you don't put out projects now, but you started producing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jump in, go in, bro.
I feel weird about it because I use Splice. I don't know if you're familiar with Splice. It's like royalty-free samples.
Yeah.
So, I take the loops and I try to chop them up a little bit, but basically I look at it like I'm piecing a band together.
Right.
So the production comes in more so in I would say, like, as I'm crafting the song and, like, where I'm adding the drops or how I do the intro or bridge or whatever. But yeah. Glory in the Wait, I did all by myself.
Yeah, and I was like, because B was, like I said, Brian,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, he did these joints?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, these sound real dope.
Appreciate it.
And
that Brian helped me make them sound good. So.
Right. I'm still getting that Brian because he talking about he gonna start producing and whatnot. B, I'm still waiting. What's good, baby? Anyway, we mess with each other like that, yo.
Yeah.
What's your weapon of choice as far as production tools? I know you say you use Splice,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
you put the whole
I
thing
drop shit
together.
in the GarageBand,
Right, okay,
and then
there
I
we go.
just piece it all together.
That's your DAW.
Yeah. That's the way I like MPCs, machine, all that stuff. Like for whatever reason, my mind just like I can't grasp it.
Man, listen, bro. It's however you use what you got.
That's the thing. Is like to me, it's like how does it sound coming out of the speakers?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
if it's dope and you make a good song with it,
and you have,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And you know, it's just I say that only because I have so much respect for like what I consider real producers.
But you know what though, man. You know what. We stay in the time though. First of all, hip hop is about experimenting.
Yeah.
When people start trying to put certain guidelines and certain rules on who could do what and who's supposed to be doing this and who don't supposed to be doing this, or you got to do it this way, you know, that's when you kind of stagnate the art and whatnot, and the art don't become the art is no longer what it was intended to be. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop was supposed to be a tool for you to express where you coming from and for you to get your music out the best way you could.
Yeah.
When cats couldn't afford a band, they stitched together, you know, breaks and whatnot.
Right.
When they got the beat machines and they couldn't get the musicians that they wanted, they crafted the drums on the machines and stuff like that. Like, that's what it's for. It's for you to put your music together the best way that you can, that works for you. Because at the end of the day, man, and it's just like DJing, nobody cares. I'm talking about the consumer now. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares how you put that music together.
That's true.
Except the people that make the music.
Yeah.
The only people that cared about Fruity Loops was other producers.
That's
the
true.
only people that cared about Seratos was other DJs.
But, I mean, but,
I get it, but
and even some of the most iconic beats you can think of are just straight loops.
Yeah, like straight up, like
so it's not like maybe you ran it through a MPC, but
it's still
let's be real, it's an 8-bar loop,
still straight loop. right, exactly.
Yeah. But and I mean, it also came out of just like frustration and necessity, like having to like search for beats. Deal with emailing producers, paying for shit.
Yes, sir.
And then like maybe I don't even end up liking it after I made it, but I paid for it now. So now I just go and like I'll spend hours in Splice just like making shit, and then if I start vibing with it, I'll start writing to it, and next thing I know, I got skeleton of a whole new project or album. So
I think that's why a lot of producers and DJs and all that stuff, I think that's why they get mad, because it makes the playing field level. You know what I'm saying? It does. Okay, they got this tool here. You no longer have to go and, beat down somebody's door to try to get this or whatever, when you can do it yourself.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like I have like a good ear for music.
No,
like
do.
I know
you
what I want to hear, and
do.
I've finally just found the right tool that lets me kind of create that.
Right. So it's like nothing's holding you up.
No, and it's royalty free, so it's like I don't have to clear samples.
But you know what they don't count on though? I'm gonna say this right here: when these sound pack manufacturers or sound kit manufacturers put royalty free on their stuff, they don't bank on an artist like you though. You know what I'm saying? They bank on they bank on somebody to just go in their bedroom, record a couple of joints, play it for their friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. They don't think that. I don't think it really registered to them that you can help push forward the career of a Tab One. Yeah. Somebody that's already established in the game, you can help push them that much further. Do you think that they take that into accountability when they come with the royalty free clause and all that stuff?
I don't know, man.
It doesn't matter, but I'm just saying,
I mean, maybe not. I think that would be the hope, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them are just producers trying to figure out ways to keep making money, and
it's crazy, right?
Which it's just getting harder and harder for everybody.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It sucks, man, with streaming and everything. And I mean, I was listening to your tracks on Spotify, on Spotify on the way over here.
right.
So, you know, hopefully you get a few pennies off that.
Yeah, hey, man, listen, bro. I appreciate every third, half, 17th of a cent or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what? But I'm going to say this right here, and I'm definitely not a big advocate of streaming, but it's just that's where we are. But it's better than it's better than and I'm gonna go back to the blog era. It's better than the blog era when you just you spend all that time making an album. Yeah, you're giving it away for free.
Yeah, here's a free album.
Oh my God, man. I'm so glad it didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Because it got to the point where it had gotten to the point where people was making great albums, giving them away for free.
Yeah.
And the main example I could think of is Bishop Lamont. And why when I talk about this, I always pick Bishop Lamont because he had a bunch of Dr. Dre tracks.
Yeah,
that he was giving away for free. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this guy's
that is wild.
Yo, this is Dr. Dre. Yo,
yeah, like, that was a wild time.
I'm like, Bishop, I'll buy this right now, dog. Like, why is Caltroit free? You know what I'm saying? Why was Liberation, the first Liberation, Mad Lib and Talib, why was that free? You know, it's not free anymore, but it was free. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't catch the boat, you missed that. But yeah, there was a time where, music had gotten so beat up or whatever that artists was giving albums away for free. And I'm just glad we passed that era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll ever get back to a time where people want to get? You think it'll ever get back to this on a regular, larger scale, or this is where we are now?
I think I don't know. It depends on the consumers. So it's like, I think there's people from like our generations who still want physical, tangible. I think there's younger people who are realizing that too. But then there's also a lot of younger people who, like, you ask them what they listen to, and they'll tell you a genre from Spotify and they don't even know who the artists or the names of the songs are.
Right.
They'll be like, I like lo-fi beats. Who do you like? Lo-fi beats.
Oh yeah.
Like, damn, you don't even know who you like?
Yo, it's a lot of them.
So
bro.
I worry that it's like, I don't know. It's like, but I have a nephew. My nephew's into like good music. Like, I was wearing an MF Doom shirt, and he said all caps when you spell the man's name. I almost cried. I was like, how do you know that? So that's cool.
Yeah.
So those people will always be out there, and those are the people that care about the culture, whether it's hip hop, whether just music, good music in general.
This is your nephew, right?
Yeah.
So does your nephew is how old?
He's 17.
17.
Yeah.
Does he understand how close the work his uncle does? Does he understand that how close you guys almost got to an MF Doom or almost were to an MF Doom?
Yeah, like
does he understand
6 degrees of KOOLEYHIGH?
Right.
I think, I don't know.
Does he understand?
We don't ever talk about it, but I know he listens to my shit, and I think he appreciates it. So,
because if I wake up one day and see a De La Soul KOOLEYHIGH track, like, it won't be a surprise to me.
That would be amazing,
right? But it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be like
I sat from Me to You with Pasanus at Night Studio one day.
Right.
The whole time just trying to be cool.
Trying to be dude.
Not freaking out. Like,
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Pasanus.
Shout out to Ninth Wonder, man, because what you're describing right now, man, like, he's definitely had me in that type of position.
Yeah,
a couple of times, man.
It's insane.
You know what I'm saying? So just to be able to try to hold it in while you're looking at your favorite artists, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and not only that, he was playing like unreleased,
De La songs.
Exactly. And I'm like, just in that room,
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember a day, and this was so long ago, man. Ninth probably don't even remember it. I remember meeting Sauce Money at his house. He went to try to get some tracks for his new album, and he played a song with him and Jay that still ain't came out to this day, yo. Like, serious? So you get to witness crazy? Those moments, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope, and it's something that you never want to take for granted. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
And it lets you know, hey, man, I'm here. Like, I'm here. Like, everybody don't get this. Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, now, had it been a day, somebody probably would have been around with, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get footage and whatnot. But it's important. So before we leave, Tab, and I don't even know if I'm really trying to wrap it up or not. We still talking. How important, and we just touched on this lightly, but I want to dive into this real quick. How important is it for an artist to have this vinyl, something like cassettes in 2023? How important is it? Is it still a lucrative thing for you? Because I notice you do it with I notice you guys do it with almost every project.
Yeah.
Why is it important? Could you tell artists coming up why something like that is important?
I mean, if you're really trying to establish a fan base and connect with people, to have something physical and tangible that they can hold and look at while they're listening to the album, it's such a huge part. I mean, it's incredibly important to me because that's how we grew up listening to music. I would just sit in my room forever. I have a line on that album. It's like, I used to sit in my room listening to CDs, reading through the line of notes like I had a disease. Like, that's what it was. That's what music is. That's what being a fan of music is. So if you want to connect with people, I think it is important. I mean, the vinyl sales over the past 5-10 years have gone up something crazy, like 70%, something maybe even more. Cassettes, I don't know. Some people buy them. I think they're cool.
Right.
Like, just for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are actually listening to them, but, you get the digital copy with it.
Right.
So I think it's important. I think it's important to keep that aspect of the culture alive.
That's the biggest thing that's been taken away from the music fan. You no longer get to open it up and see who's cool with who.
Like on the day the album comes out.
You know what I'm saying?
You remember going to the mall and
it's
so much fun.
Tab, like Big Daddy Kane just gave Tab One a shout out. Why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's in the linear. Like you didn't even know they was cool, but you reading the linear notes. Yeah. Rappers shouting out other people that you didn't even know they worked with.
Yeah.
You get to see the production credits.
Yeah.
You get to see the address of the label. So you could shop your joint to, you know what I'm saying, the label and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just different stuff that we don't get anymore. That used to make this whole process, Yeah.
It's just it's a connection to it.
I
think.
man.
So I don't know. Having something tangible is so huge, I think.
Yeah, it is, man. And with you guys' albums, with you guys' merch, everything, like you guys jumped on that game early. We had an interview earlier this year with Cesar Comanche.
Okay. Shout out to Cesar.
I had the pleasure of meeting Comanche, you know what I'm saying, like right before the boom.
I did too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right before the boom, right before everything just popped off. And we had a discussion on the importance of merch and stuff like that, and how the hieroglyphics was like one of the first crews that I seen like really.
That's who I always bring up. When I'm talking with Kooley, those dudes are so on point with the merch. I mean,
but you guys are too.
Yeah,
you guys are too, man. And it's just I don't know. It looks good. It's real dope. It's gonna be around forever, man. I'm excited with every time y'all drop something, man, because it's like y'all don't just drop. It's an event when y'all drop. You know what I'm saying? From the promotions to the clips that y'all put up to like, what was the last project that came out? I think it was Charlie and
Charlie Tape.
The Charlie Tape. That was an event, bro. Like,
yeah, man, they worked hard.
I was like, damn, yo. I'm talking about, but they worked hard on the project, right?
Yeah.
But like the way
present the I'm talking about the rollout of it.
Like, yo, the rollout was. Oh God, this rollout is so crazy, man. Like.
So that's what we're working on that now for this next project.
Right. So. And it gets you to a point where it's like, yo, I have to hear this. I have to hear this. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean when I say you guys always got your finger on whatever is going on. Y'all don't miss a beat. Like whatever the latest way to do things are, y'all was already there. Yeah. So that I'll always look to you guys for that.
I appreciate it, man.
So,
Thank you very much.
But so what we got other than the KOOLEYHIGH, I can't even talk right now. Other than the KOOLEYHIGH album, what do you have coming up? Are you working on something special right now, or you just in Kooley?
I'm working on. I'm always working on something, but I'm just started piecing together like the outside structure of a new project. So starting to piece something together. But yeah, the Kooley album is. I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about it yet. But
you got to go into it.
I'll just say it's coming,
Mm-hmm.
probably early next year.
Okay.
And it's with a special producer outside of the group.
I mean, I already know, but
yeah.
That's my privilege. You know
I
what I'm saying?
I don't want to say it
That's my
yet because
privilege.
we're gonna save that.
Yes,
pop.
sir.
We're gonna save that pop for when we announce something.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm just super excited about it. It's sounding good. Brian's been working on the mix for us.
Sir. And for the record, I haven't heard any of those records yet. So
okay.
For the record,
I was
you know
gonna
what I'm
say,
saying?
all right.
Haven't heard anything yet.
So yeah, Kooley album. I don't know when I'll put something out, but I'm working on something, and yeah. So
listen,
good,
man.
Just trying to keep moving.
I hope I touched on everything that I was supposed to touch on. You know what I'm saying? This is a conversation that I always wanted to have with you outside. You know, just not even on camera or nothing. You know, I just wanted to chop it up. We always see each other in passing and whatnot. We'll talk for a few. You know, so I was always a respect thing and whatnot.
Absolutely.
You know, you always been real deal with me, man, and I definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming through. You know, to be on our podcast, especially in the early stages and whatnot. We really appreciate this more than you know, man. And when the Kooley album drop or when the new Tab 1 album drop, man, like, yo, come back and kick it with us, man. Talk about the project and whatnot, man, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we need to get Charlie down here too.
Yeah, we definitely. Yo, Charlie, if you see this, bro, like, come on, man. You know we got to do it, bro. Like, for real, because I got a feeling it's going to be a bugged out interview. And while the tape rolling, man, Charlie, man, I want to send my love out to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know about everything that happened, and I send my love out to you and your family, man. And I hope the days are getting, you know, a little bit brighter. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, man, we definitely can't wait for you to come by and sit down and chop it up with us, man.
Absolutely.
Tab, can you tell the audience, you know, where they can find you, man?
Yeah, man. So KOOLEYHIGH is with a K, KOOLEYHIGH. It's at KOOLEYHIGH NC is the Instagram. You can just Google KOOLEYHIGh, Tab 1, TAB-ONE. I prefer you go to my Bandcamp page, Tab 1.
That's what I love at, bro.
Tab1.bandcamp.com. All my socials are at tab_ONE. So yeah, holler at me.
Word up.
Hey,
man.
and thank you guys, Finsta. Thank you, K Hill.
Hey, thank you, my brother.
For all you do for North Carolina hip hop, for what you do for hip hop in general, for doing this, and just everything you've done for the culture, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So.